Okay, now that we've taken the guard off, we've turned the blade over, and we're going to get some nice square lines on the sideburns. Pull the ear down, go round using as you can see I'm using the edge of the clippers. Bend the ear down and just go around the ear, and just be very gentle that you don't press too hard. All those little fluffy bits, you can take all those off. Now to get a nice straight line, we're going to work from the back of the ear. Just give yourself a bit of a guide with the comb as you can see where you're going, so you don't want to go around the corner. We just go from the back of it, ear, straight down towards the neck there, and take all that fluff away. Just pull the skin back a little bit and then turn the clippers over, and you can just take away all that fluffy bits from the behind the back of the ear. Get yourself a nice line, nice clean line. And then what we do is the same on the other side. We deal with the sideburn first, take a bit of the bulkness out of it, turn over the clippers and give a nice straight line, using the points of the clippers going around the ear, bending the ear down and just going around the ear as well, getting rid of all that little fluffy stuff, those long bits, which a lot of people tend to miss when I see so many haircuts that they've got little bits of hair behind the ear. So we want to get rid of all of that. And then we do the same as the other side, just get rid of all the fluff, and then we do a nice straight line from behind the ear back down to the nape, getting rid of all that fluff, just turning the clippers back the other way again. So what you're looking for is a nice straight line along the back of the ear towards the taper zone, which is on the back of that, and we'll show you how that works in just a second. That's pretty much it for the sides. Just check in the mirror, use your mirror to make sure your sideburns are nice and even, because you don't want one up and one down. And now we're going to do the tapering at the back, which is just finishing off the back of it. We're going to use a natural line rather than a dead square line, and basically it's called a taper, and we're just tapering with the comb. See, I'm using the comb and the clippers and trying to keep a fairly natural line as possibly, as natural as we can basically, so it doesn't look like it's just been cut off. So we're just cleaning up that little peak with the clippers and just keep that fairly natural, and that's a natural taper line. So you'll see that one side's a little bit higher than the other, got a bit of a gap, so what you want to do is join in and blend in the other side as well. So we've done all our clipper work, and now we're going to do the internals, which is with the scissors. So we clean him up just to make sure he's nice and comfortable. We don't get hair all over the place because they get quite itchy, and then we're going to do the internals basically with scissors and what we call our layering, fingers and scissors basically. We'd like to wet the hair down because it does two things. It allows you to work with the hair a lot easier, and it doesn't fly all over the place. So this is just your very basic layered haircut. We're going to work from the crown to the front, to the fringe. And in our next session we'll show you how to do some texturing, but this one we're just going to do some very basic layering for you. So once we've wet all the hair down, we're going to blend it all in from the clipper work, the layering internals, to the clipper work down the sides. Just watch where your crown is so you can keep it a bit longer through that crown area, otherwise it can start to stick up, which we don't want at this stage. So from the crown forward we take a section to see how long you want it, and you just take it to the point of where you'd like it, and just work forward from your guideline, and you can see behind where your guide is, and just keep cutting towards that point as you work forward towards the fringe, to the front of the hair. So you're probably taking about 1/2 inch sections, which you do for most of us, all the way to the front. And we're just following the shape of the scalp basically, and we're just pulling it out at 45 degrees from the scalp and just going straight from there. With the front you want to leave it slightly longer, so we pull it back a little bit more, because we'll cut the fringe later on depending on how long you want to keep that. Then we do the next section, and then the following through to the other side. So basically going from the top to the side, and we do exactly the same thing, and we work towards the front, and using your guideline that you've just cut previously, as you can see where the guide is, and just cut towards that point, working towards the front. Exactly the same as what we did before, just working slightly on the right hand side of the scalp. And then we do the same thing again. We work further down, and that weight line is what you want to get rid of. Basically, we want to blend all of that in to our previous clipper work. And we just continue on to the front like we did on the top. That's basically it with the fingers, because you can't reach any more depending on the thickness of your fingers. So we go to the other side and we do exactly the same thing as what we just did previously. And just keep working towards the front. Exactly the same as what we did on the other side. Pulling it back at the fringe, of course, just keeping it longer, because we'll get to that later. And we go back to the crown area again and just keep cutting. See, I'm working towards the front again, as far down as you can go where your fingers reach. When you can't reach anymore, then we're going to start doing the scissor over comb. And then from the back of it, what we're doing is working from the crown area and doing exactly the same. We're pivoting from the crown, and we're going to go around to the other side, going from the back of the head to the other side, and just blending it into the side that we've already cut. And we're just leaving it a bit longer on the top of that crown area there, as you can see. And just keep going until you run out of hair, basically, because then you know you've joined it in and you've blended it into the sides that you've already cut. We just work down, that's our weight line from our clippers. We want to try and blend that in as much as we can using our fingers. And when you can't reach any more with your fingers, we're going to do the scissor over comb, of course. We use slightly bigger scissors with the scissor over comb. So I'm just changing my scissors now from the small ones, which I use for layering, and I'm going to use a slightly bigger barbering scissors, which is what I like to use. And that weight line area there is what we want to get rid of, basically, and around that front area. So we're just tidying it all up, getting rid of that weight line, blending the clipper work into our layered finger work. And you can see I'm just taking a slight amount off just to blend it all in, so it all blends in nice and smoothly. And we just work around that weight line, basically, because that's the only spot we haven't cut as yet with the fingers. And any clipper lines that we may have seen through the clippers, because sometimes they do leave a bit of a ragged edge, so we can clean all that up with a scissor and comb. And you see how I'm moving the comb as well as we're going, so we don't leave any scissor marks as well.